What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dollar Mike and I'm back at it again with another video. Today, you can tell by the title, we're talking about the portfolio. We're doing a October of 2022 portfolio update. You guys know the stock market has been pretty much crashing as of right now for the past couple of weeks now. So we're going to get into the portfolio. We've taken some losses and we're going to talk about all that. On top of that, we're going to talk about some of the stocks that we'll be buying for this month and going forward, and a couple of portfolio changes that will be happening also as well going forward. So not gonna waste too much time. Let's get right into the video. Let's talk about this portfolio and what else we got going on. Let's go. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, then welcome. Happy to see you here. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and let me know what you're invested in down in the comment section below, and we can have a discussion. Either way, if you guys don't know, I have a decent amount of portfolios, a couple that I mainly focus on, but in particular, my Robinhood portfolio is my dividend and growth portfolio. So I mainly focus on dividend stocks and growth stocks. So pretty much just trying to get as much passive income as I can get from this particular portfolio. And occasionally I'll do some slight plays where I try to make some extra money. It's pretty much a fun portfolio for me. So we're going to jump into the Robinhood portfolio because that's where we do the majority of that at. Face ID, and we are in. Right now, the portfolio is sitting at a whopping $34,188.95 over the past day. I'm recording this on a Sunday. But over the past day, which was the previous Friday, the market was down, or for my portfolio, about 1%, 0.91%, or $314. After hours, up about $9. Nothing too crazy there. If we go look at the past week, we can see what's happened in the stock market over the past couple of weeks, but we'll see in just a second. Either way, over the past week, we're down about 3%, or about $1,000. The past month, this past month, we're down about $3,300, $3,300, 8%. Past 3 months, we're down about 6%, or $2,300. Year to date, so January 1st till now, October 2nd, we're down about $11,000. Crazy stuff. You may be wondering why I'm smiling, bruh, because I don't need any of this money right now, and on top of this, long term, we're not paying attention to any of this. The entire stock market is pretty much down right now. I'm not too worried about this. I'm still slightly beating the overall market when you look at the SPX or the S&P 500. S&P 500 right now is down about 25% year to date. We're right in line with that at about 24%. So all good to go there. I'm simply buying more. If you guys haven't seen my videos before, you guys know I'm a long-term investor, so none of this really matters in the grand scheme of things in the long term. But in the short term, yeah, we're down $11,000 right now as a paper loss. You don't actually lose anything until you sell, and I'm not selling. Past that, we're down for the past year about $8,145, or 19%. And all time, yes, this is the first time, I'm gonna make a separate video for this. This is the first time in, I believe, at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years, where my overall portfolio value has been down. First time ever. I'm down overall about 1.93%, or about $672. I honestly expect the market to fall a little bit more, going down to probably down to November of this year before it starts to recover. Maybe we'll see what happens with the inflation reports and everything going on outside with the world. We'll see. We'll simply see what happens. Could we see another crash in the next couple of months? Possibly, possibly not. Nobody has the answer to that. I don't have the answer to that. So we simply have to wait and see. But either way, you guys know I'm simply buying more of my favorite companies at a mean discounted price, and I'm sure that the market is going to keep dipping for the short term. So long term, nothing to worry about. Past that though, we look down, you can see my buying power right now is about $1,200. And I also have a option right here, which we're going to talk about later in the video, probably at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that, because I think this could make us a lot of money potentially. And that's pretty much it. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's not really that big a deal on the portfolio, but it could make us a lot of money, and I'm going to mention it at the end of the video. Past that, though, we can scroll on down and start with the first stock on the list. And the first stock on the list for today is ticker symbol AAPL. Now, if you can't tell, you probably can tell now, I bought a brand new iPhone. Typically for me, when it comes down to buying stocks and stuff like that, I like to invest in what I actually use, what I know, what I understand when it comes to companies, products, anything like that. And I have a lot of Apple products, so typically every single time I buy a brand new Apple product, I'll match that with Apple stock. So I pretty much, this cost about $1,199 or something like that. So I'll pretty much buy another $1,000 worth of Apple stock. Right now I have about 15 shares of Apple stock. I'm overall up about 5%, and I do have plans to buy even more Apple stock. I've been meaning to buy Apple stock for the past couple of weeks, but it's still lowering in value, and I know I can get a better deal than 137 a share, most likely, because I still think the market's going to go down even further in the short term. So I do plan on adding about $1,100 to this position in the within this very month, October or November. So be on the lookout for that. Just know that I'm buying more Apple stock to pretty much match the amount of money I paid for this phone. Past that, I sold my old phone, but that's a whole separate video. And yeah, either way though, we scroll on down. I have a recurring buy on Apple as well. So that's pretty much my gist of how I invest, or at least one of the ways I do invest. Past Apple stock, we got ticker symbol MSFT or Microsoft sitting at $233.54 a share right now. Also a great company to have for the long term. Microsoft isn't going anywhere. I have about 4.34 shares of Microsoft stock. Overall up about 9% with that. And that's pretty much it. We'll be buying more. No questions asked. Past that, we have Amazon. Amazon is sitting at 113. What the heck? Amazon is sitting at $113 a share. I love Amazon as a company, as a stock. Definitely invested in Amazon for the long term. And I have more updates to give regarding Amazon in the future. But for the time being, I'm not buying any Amazon stock, and I'll have to explain that at another time. But typically, is this a good time to buy Amazon stock? I think so. Past Amazon, though, we have Tesla, which I am heavily invested into Tesla. Tesla right now is sitting at $266 a share right now. We scroll down on Tesla stock. That's for holding about 15.69 shares overall. If you guys didn't know, Tesla's stock price, they also did a stock split not too long ago, as well as Apple, I believe, and Google. So if you're wondering why the stock prices may look a little bit different from a couple months back, that's because they did stock splits. If you want to learn a little bit more about stock splits, overall I have a video talking about that, multiple videos talking about that. It'll be linked right up there. Overall though, up about 38% on my Tesla shares. Do plan on buying more Tesla stock, not at this very moment, but long term, I'm still a huge Tesla investor. I still believe in Tesla and all their other intricacies that they have. And on top of that, I just really believe in the electric vehicle push. I mean, that is the future. Almost every single brand is trying to be, we're not trying to be Tesla, but has a electric car at this point, where they will by 2030. So that's the way we're going. Tesla is the pioneer in that sense. Obviously, I think there have been electric cars before Tesla, but the point is, Tesla really, they buckled down. Elon did his thing, and now that's what we're going for in the future. So I think it's really cool to see. Will I ever buy a Tesla? Maybe. We'll see. Past that though, ticker symbol DGRO. This is a dividend and growth ETF. Overall, I'd recommend either DGRO or ticker symbol SCHD. They're both really great. I personally like DGRO just a little bit more because they invest heavily into Apple and Microsoft, some of my favorite companies. And right now it's sitting at $44.44 a share right now. Huge discounts on that right now. I have overall about 108 shares with plans to buy way more. I pretty much invest in this every single week. $25 every single week will pretty much give me a little bit over half a share. So plans to buy a lot more. And like I said, I'll be making future videos talking about this, where I dump a couple of thousand into this portfolio and make some changes going forward. But you'll see all that coming soon. Past that, we got ticker symbol XLP. I mentioned this in my previous dividend video. If you guys haven't seen that dividend video, check it out. I pretty much do a dividend update every single month of all the dividend stocks that I was paid for that single month. So like I said, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I just dropped it a couple of days ago. But overall, XLP is something I plan to get into. I don't have any position on it right now, only about $1 worth. And I'm overall down with that 9% with that $1 worth of XLP that I have. But overall, XLP is another ETF. If you guys don't know what an ETF is, it is an exchange traded fund. Pretty much is a basket of different stocks all put into the same single one stock that you can invest into. So for instance, for this one, this is a consumer staples ETF. So they have a whole bunch of different consumer staples like stocks all put into one single stock that you can invest into, instead of buying 20 or 30 or 50 or whatever you want to buy, 50 different stocks that overall are in the same exact industry. So if we scroll on down, we can see just that. Their top 10 holdings are in Procter & Gamble. They have a whole ton of household products. Pepsi, of course, a drink brand. Coke, also a drink brand that you can, they own tons of different products when it comes to those drink brands. Costco, you guys know Costco. It's like Sam's Club or BJ's, pretty much, where you can go and get wholesale bulk items and stuff like that. Walmart, you guys know what Walmart is. Come on now. Altria, I believe they sell cigarettes. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's cigarettes and stuff like that. Colgate, toothpaste, and they have other products as well, mouthwash, stuff like that. The whole point is, these are all consumer staple like stocks, and they are all put into this one single ETF that you can invest into instead of buying all those stocks separately. Now, the reason you may want to do that is you have a lot of them in the portfolio. In my case, I do. I have a couple of these on my portfolio. I do want to invest in even more of them in the future, but I overall don't contribute enough money to all of them, and I'm trying to slim down the portfolio, and this is a great way for me to do that. So in the future, probably this month, I actually do plan on selling my Procter & Gamble, all my Procter & Gamble shares, all my Coke shares, and putting that all towards this. And on top of that, also putting another $2,000 to $3,000, $4,000 into this particular stock to pretty much still give me that diversity into XLP and all the other companies that I would like to invest into, like Costco. I'm not invested into Costco on any of my portfolios. I want to be invested into Costco, but I also don't want to buy Costco stock singularly or whatever you would call it. Either way, we're gonna have fun with this. We're doing one take. But yeah, that's the idea. That's the gist. I don't have too many ETF stocks because I just don't think that's really necessary. But that's the plan for October, November, depending on how I deposit more money into my account. Past that though, we got ticker symbol JEPI. I mentioned this before in my QYLD video. This is pretty much an income driver for the portfolio. I'm not going to mention it too much more. You can check out the video. I made a video talking about it. It'll be linked right up there. You can check that out. It's right now sitting at about 51.44 a share right now. Overall, like I said, it's just an income driver for the portfolio. Right now, the money that I get from this or the dividends that I receive from this every single month get reinvested back into JEPI stock to buy me or to give me even more payouts on the next dividend payout. But long term in the future, I plan on just buying a lot of this and having this be an extra source of passive income for me for the long term. I can use for whatever I want to use it for. I can take it out, move it to another stock, completely up to me. But for the time being, it's just going back into that JEPI stock and getting me more shares of JEPI every single month. Past JEPI though, we got a REIT or a couple of REITs coming up. This first REIT is Realty Income, sitting at $58.49 a share right now. We scroll down, we have about 11.78 shares. Overall, this is the first time I've actually seen Realty Income at a decent price where I think it's almost in a buy zone. This hasn't dropped in price pretty much all year. It just started dropping literally like what, August? Yeah, so you can see it was up around $70 in August, and now we're in October 2nd, 3rd, whatever date it is, and it's sitting at 58. So finally time for me to go and grab some more Realty Income stock. I've been trying to grab some for a while now, and it's finally dipping, which is expected. The whole market, like I said, is pretty much dipping, tanking, whatever you want to call it, crashing. But I think we still have a little more ways to go down before we start rising back up again. We'll see what happens over these next couple of months. Past Realty Income though, we got ticker symbol STAG, also a REIT or real estate investment trust. This one is for industrial real estate. They own a whole bunch of different warehouses. And one of their largest customers, funny enough, is Amazon. Sitting at $28.43 a share right now. If you scroll down, I am down about 24% or $500 with them. This isn't my greatest loss in the portfolio, and I really do plan to hold this one for the long term. I really like what they do as far as the real estate that they own. I have no issues with it, and I definitely will be buying more, especially at this price point. And honestly, like I said, I think it could go even lower. So no worries here on that one. Past STAG, we got ticker symbol MPW, Medical Properties Trust. I do plan on getting rid of Medical Properties Trust in the long term. I don't plan on holding this forever like some of the other stocks in the portfolio like Apple and Microsoft. Medical Properties Trust, I do plan on holding it till it reaches my point where I feel like I should sell it or where I want to sell it, which is about $21 to $24 a share. Right now you can see it's at $11 a share because, like I said, whole market's down. Past that though, it's $11.23 a share right now. Overall, I'm down about 37% with this. 60 shares. They pay a nice dividend. We got a dividend coming in on October 13th of $17. So we'll talk about that in the next dividend update. But Realty Income, Medical Properties Trust actually owns a lot of different hospitals and healthcare centers and stuff like that. They own those buildings and they receive that income from them every single month as well. So a nice REIT, pretty cool. If you guys don't know, if I don't think I mentioned it, Realty Income owns a whole bunch of different commercial real estate like LA Fitness, Walmart, Home Depot. They pretty much own the building, and then those companies pay Realty Income every single month, and we get a dividend every single month for pretty much their lease income that they make. So that's pretty much it. Past those three REITs though, we have ticker symbol BA or Boeing. Haven't invested into Boeing since I first invested into the stock market, and this is honestly a great sign. I think I like this. I'm looking at this right now. This is the first time I thought of this. When I first started investing heavily into my Robinhood portfolio, that was back when the market had crashed in March of 2020. Now we're sitting in October of 2022, and I bought Boeing for about $99 a share. At that price point, the market was it was pretty much, it was at that point it crashed, and it was pretty much a flash crash. So it crashed really fast, and then it started to rise back up pretty fast as well. Either way, if Boeing does manage to get down to that $99 price point, number one, it tells me the market's in a terrible location because that was a bad location to be in back 2 years ago. And it also tells me that it's time to buy more stocks for me personally, because I feel like that's enough of an indication to tell me, okay, the market really has fully pulled back from when I originally invested into Boeing stocks. So just a little small indication. You can see it right here. I literally got Boeing for $99 a share right now. And on that day, it was down at $95 a share, which is crazy. So we scroll down, you can see haven't bought any ever since, and I do plan on buying some more, but I've been looking for the right time, and I'm glad I held out. Pretty much, I'm glad I held out and did not buy Boeing when it rose back up to around 200. I was like, no, because I was like, no, I just didn't feel good. Just didn't feel right. You can't time the market. Don't try to time the market. I'm just saying, I think it'll go down a little bit more. I may be right, I may be wrong, but I'm gonna buy consistently over time anyway. So don't try to time the market. You can't do that. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your money. Do your thing. Invest for the long term. You'll be all good to go. Past Boeing, though, we got ticker symbol Coke. Like I said, I'm going to be selling, or ticker symbol KO for Coke, sitting at 56.12. Like I said, I'm going to be selling this to overall put all this money from Coke into ticker symbol XLP, that consumer staples ETF. But for the time being, I still have Coke on here. I have about $700 worth of Coke, and I haven't added any more. And that's what I'm saying. I haven't added any more to this position in a very long time. Simply put, I have too many stocks in the portfolio. I can't focus on all of them, so that's why we're putting this into an ETF where I still have an exposure to Coke. I'm just not investing into them directly. So that's pretty much it. Past that, Procter & Gamble, same thing goes here. 126 a share right now. We scroll down, I have about $700 into this. Overall down about 2%. Nothing crazy, but like I said, not investing into it. I haven't touched it. I haven't bought any more shares in a long time. The only thing that's going into this is extra dividends. That's cool, but if I'm not focused on it, I'm not making any extra money, I'm not putting any more money into it, it's really no point because it's not going to make me a lot of money in the long term. Procter & Gamble and Coke aren't the type of stocks like Tesla where they're going to run up $200, $300, $400 maybe in a couple of months. These stocks are going to take a really long time to run up in value. They will go up in value, I believe, over time, but they'll take a really long time to do that. And by that time, the opportunity cost isn't there. How much money I'm making off of this, was it really worth it? Just the whole $700 worth of these two companies? Probably not. You're probably better off if you have exposure to them in an ETF like XLP. Just saying. And that works for not just Coke and Procter & Gamble. That works for any other stock that you may be interested in. If you guys want to look up some ETFs and see which ones that you might be interested in, you can go and check out ETF.com. ETF, literally.com. And you can see tons of different ETFs that hold different types of companies, portfolios, all that kind of good stuff if you're interested. So just putting it out there, some knowledge for you if you didn't know. Now you know. Past Procter & Gamble, we got ticker symbol ALLY or Ally Bank or Ally Financial sitting at $27.95 a share right now. I'll be adding more of this very soon, like most of the portfolio to be completely honest. I have about $1,000 worth of this, down about 24%. Financial stocks have taken a major hit this year. Not surprised there at all, but it is what it is. And Ally Financial, Ally Bank, I use them as one of my savings accounts, and also it's just one of my separate bank accounts that's not Bank of America or Chase. So I like Ally. No issue there. You can stick with whatever bank you want, but I think it's definitely important to be invested into one of these banks that you use on a personal level. If you have Bank of America, probably get some Bank of America stock. Got Chase, maybe you get some Chase stock. Or you have whatever, American Express, something like that. Anything like that, grab some of their stock. You know, you're going to get a dividend from that. Number one, you're probably not going to get a dividend from, or you're probably not going to get a nice yield from the savings account. So at least have something invested if you're using one of these banks as your personal bank. I'm just saying. I think that's just a smart way to go about it. But past that, Chase. Like I just mentioned, I'm not going to get the whole spiel again, but 104 a share right now. Honestly, Chase, I mean, I have no issues with buying more Chase, honestly. Either one of these I have no more issues with buying or no issue with buying. Right now, I have about $1,000 worth of Chase stock as well, down about 23%, about the same as Ally. Like I said, the financial sector is taking a mean hit the past 2022, so it's understandable. Past that though, ticker symbol XOM or ExxonMobil, probably one of the only stocks or only industries that's done well this year because of oil and gas. No issues here, but I'm not buying any more of this right now just because it's kind of no point. I think it'll go back up a little bit more. I think gas prices haven't stabilized just yet. So ExxonMobil could rise a little bit, but I still think it's too high for right now. I got my money from it. I was up over 100%. I cashed out on about $1,200 worth of that when I was up over 100%, and I put that into other companies in my portfolio. So I made out on this, and I'm still, you can see, up over 81% with only about $900 left into it. So no big deal here, but I'm not buying any more of it until it dips back down, until gas prices stabilize as well. So no worries there, but it is nice to see that something went up this year. That's about it. Ticker symbol KMI, or Kinder Morgan, is natural gas. Overall, I do believe in this for the long term. I might be on my own with this personal pick, but it is what it is. I trust it. I believe in it. $16.65 a share right now. If we scroll down, I have about 52 shares of Kinder Morgan. Overall, I'm not buying any more of this right now, but I am just having all the dividends get reinvested back into Kinder Morgan stock. Like I said, I think natural gas will be somewhat of an importance over the next 5 to 10 years. So we'll simply see what happens when it happens. Past Kinder Morgan, we got Disney. Love Disney, you know what I'm saying? I think Disney's going to do well. I think Disney's going to do great. They've done well in the past. The past doesn't prove anything about the future, but overall, I think Disney still has a lot of different avenues of making money. And, you know, with the Disney parks finally starting to open up truly, I think Disney will be okay. On top of that, Netflix took a major hit, you know, as far as their subscriber growth. I think this is the first time, a couple months back, this is the first time where Netflix actually lost subscribers, which is kind of crazy to think about. And Disney Plus overall is gaining more subscribers, and possibly, or I think it's confirmed now, Disney Plus gained more subscribers and are increasing their overall charge for Disney Plus. So overall, Disney's raking in the money. They're going to continue to rake in the money for at least the next 5 years. So I think this is a solid investment here for me, and I'll definitely be buying more Disney stock. We scroll down, got about 8.2 shares of Disney, overall down about 24%. I bought Disney at a high price, which probably around 180 overall. I averaged it down. I'm continuously averaging it down. That was my fault, but hey, overall, not worried about it. Definitely buying more Disney, especially under $100. I think it's worth it. Past Disney stock, we got ticker symbol LOW, or Lowe's. Overall, no big complaint here. 187 a share right now. We go and check out Lowe's stock. 5.38 shares, overall up about 6.7%. We'll buy Lowe's, Home Depot, don't care. They're both pretty cool. They'll both be around for a very long time. I like Lowe's a little bit more, so I'm gonna stick with Lowe's. Past Lowe's, got Walgreens. Walgreens I talked about in a separate video. You guys can check it out if you want to see the video talking about Walgreens and CVS. Sitting at $31.41 a share right now. I think Walgreens will be fine for the next 5 to 10 years. Particularly the next 5 years, we'll see where they are, but I definitely will be buying more Walgreens shares, especially around $30, maybe probably gonna be 20 something bucks a share within the next month or so. So yeah, now I'm not saying buy any of these right now. I'm just saying be on the lookout for some of your favorite companies, some of your favorite stocks that are, pretty much primed to be invested into for the long term. This is the same thing that's happened back in 2020. That we had a small flash crash in 2018. We had a crash, of course, of the markets in 2008. We had a crash back in 2000. And let me go back, 1970? This continuously happens. So it's like, who knows how long it's going to take the market to recover. But the point is, if you have the time and the extra money that you want to go ahead and invest, then go do it. I'm not saying buy Walgreens. I'm just saying buy what you think is right and hold it for the long term. And you'll be surprised of what might happen to your money. You could multiply it way faster than you doing anything with any savings accounts, or maybe even other investments besides, I would say, like real estate or something. Real estate's always pretty good, just a little bit harder to get into, but we're working on that as well, and we'll talk about that when the time comes. Past that, though, we got ticker symbol VZ, or Verizon, sitting at $38 a share right now. Overall, wish I waited on my Verizon purchase. Got it around $52 a share, but like I said, gonna be adding more to Verizon. I do like Verizon a lot as a company. I don't think they have much going for them growth-wise, which is a huge problem. But their dividend is really nice right now, sitting at around 6% because the stock price is so cheap. I do think it'll recover back to around $45-50, but past that, I honestly don't think Verizon will do that much better than that, to be honest. Like I said, I just don't think the growth is there. But when the market does recover, Verizon will naturally go back up in price. I'm not too worried about it, but I do want to grab some more at this low price because I think it's just a great time. I think it's just good. You know, all these companies aren't going to be around forever, of course. You never know what company is going to truly fail. But Verizon, I feel like, isn't one of those companies that will fail because they're in such a sector that they kind of need, telecommunications. We kind of need that. So, and Verizon is also one of the largest. Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, one of the largest. So it's like, we'll see what happens. But getting Verizon at this price point, I think is great. Past Verizon stock, we got ticker symbol MAIN or Main Street Capital. No complaints on Main Street Capital. They're pretty much a business development company, so they might hand out loans to you or other companies to overall benefit them in the long term when it comes to their investments. Right now, sitting at $34.37 a share. Overall, I have about 35 shares. Overall, down about 9%. But they've been paying me a consistent monthly paying dividend. Not too worried about that at all. And overall, Main Street Capital, balance sheets and everything looks good long term. So I'm not worried about Main Street Capital. Don't really have too much to say about them. Past that, we got ticker symbol PSEC. Same thing goes here. Nothing too much to say. They've been consistently giving me a solid dividend. Love to see it. $6.21 right now. Overall, I have about 119 shares. Haven't bought any more shares in a long time. Don't plan on buying any more at all for the time being, unless it magically dips down to about $4. Other than that, I'm not buying any more shares of this. Past that, B&G Foods. This is my fault. Honestly, wish I had sold this a little bit further back, but it will be. I said I was going to sell it last month, and the timing just didn't work out. I wasn't thinking. I wasn't even paying attention to my portfolio at the time. And that's another thing what I wanted to say. I'm not looking at the portfolio enough to manage and look over all these stocks all the time. I got a full-time job. I'm not paying attention to all this stuff all the time, which is the reason why I don't need to have 300 stocks in my portfolio. We're almost done here, but the point still stands is that can't focus on everything at once. There's other things going on in life. So making this all simpler and bringing this all down would be better. So B&G Foods will be off the portfolio this month. I'm not going to sell it right this very moment because it doesn't matter anyway. The market's closed. But that money will likely go towards that XLP ETF as well. We scroll down about 43% or $674. Sucks to suck, honestly. But hey, it's got to go. I don't think this is going to recover. If it does recover, it's not going to recover back to $30 a share. Maybe, maybe not. Their financials don't look that good. It's no place for this on my portfolio, to be honest, anymore. So it'll likely be gone. Past B&G Foods, we got ticker symbol TGT or Target. Every time I go spend money at Target, I buy more Target stock. As you can see, I got a Target buy coming up because I just went to Target literally yesterday. So, yeah, going to be buying more Target. I'm still establishing my position in Target. So, long-term, Target will be a long-term play in the portfolio. But for the time being, I'm still building that up. Past Target stock, we got ticker symbol COIN or Coinbase. Honestly, crypto looks dead. Crypto looks terrible right now. Hey, we told you. You know what I'm saying? If you want to take that risk with cryptocurrency, it's a huge risk to take. You can make a lot of money with cryptocurrency, or you can lose everything with cryptocurrency because it can all go to zero literally in an instant, really. So, hey, I mean, hey, I honestly shouldn't have bought Coinbase. That was my fault. Again, that was my bad investment decision. So I haven't sold it just yet. I really didn't want to sell it taking this much of a loss. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. I'm glad I didn't put, because I actually ended up planning on putting about $5,000 into this. I'm glad I didn't do that. Do I think crypto will recover? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Cryptocurrency is really interesting. I need to make a separate video talking about it recently. But cryptocurrency is just probably one of the biggest risks you can take with your money. I think. It's always been that way. But especially now, the market just isn't doing that well. It's just that simple. So when the market's not doing well, you would think that crypto would just skyrocket. But I feel like it's so tied to the actual stock market now that it just doesn't happen. So that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. That's about it when it comes to Coinbase or cryptocurrency. It's all related to the same thing. I only invested into it to have some cryptocurrency exposure on the stock market, but that's pretty stupid because I could just buy more cryptocurrency. So I don't know why I bought it, But I also don't want to take this much of a loss or sell it for this much of a loss right now. So we'll see what I do in the future. For the time being, I'm not selling it. If I do sell it, I'll let you guys know. Past that, we got ticker symbol AVPT. I'm not talking about this stock anymore. Told you guys, at this point, I'm pretty much bag holding. I do believe in this company. Opportunity cost is out there. Opportunity cost is a big thing because I've been holding this for over a year now, and it hasn't really performed at all. But the entire market hasn't performed at all either. So should I continue to hold this for the next 2 or 3 years and watch it recover, maybe, possibly, or watch it go down to zero, possibly? I'm not honestly sure. I'm not honestly sure what I'm going to do. I think for the time being, I am going to continue to hold it. Opportunity cost could prove to be worth it because at the end of the day, if it recovers to around $20, I would make so much money from it, or I would make a decent amount of money from it where I feel like it was worth it to hold it for about 3 years. But if it doesn't, because I do plan on buying a little bit more, just a drop, If it doesn't, then I just lose out on whatever I got in here at this point. I'll lose out on about $3,000. So, and honestly, I think this is the type of stock to run well past $20 a share. So I'll take the chance with the opportunity cost. Do I want to have that big of a loss on the portfolio? No, but I mean, like I said, investing involves risk. I'm taking more risk with this than I would with something like Apple. It's that simple. Taking a chance. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. That's it. That's all you can go about. All you can do. So that's all I really got to say on AvePoint. I believe that is the last stock. Oh, we got one more. I believe this is the last stock. This is ticker symbol ALL. I believe I bought this last month, and this stands for Allstate. Haven't made a full-blown video talking about this, but insurance is a big thing. I don't really like paying for car insurance because, like, I'm a good driver. I don't get into accidents, or it just doesn't happen, Knock on wood, I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying, like, insurance is a fun thing because you pay for it, you get the value if something happens, but if nothing happens, then that's just money that's just gone. It just vanishes. They just collect that, and you go about the rest of your life, literally. So that's the way insurance is. You got to just pay for it, and that's pretty much it. So since I have to just pay for it, I might as well be invested into the company I'm just paying to pay, which is, for me personally, for my car insurance, is Allstate. So it's sitting at $124 a share right now. Overall, the insurance industry actually does extremely well over the long term because there's a lot of people just paying to pay. Their balance sheets look solid. I'm not mad at that. So Allstate, Geico, Travelers, whatever you got, look it up on the stock market, do a little bit of research, figure out if it's actually a good investment, because some of these insurance companies actually aren't that good of an investment. Allstate actually is pretty solid from what I've seen. And that's pretty much it. So right now, I actually have a recurring buy on Allstate every single month for $130. That's how much I pay for my car insurance. Or car insurance plus a couple of other things. So yeah, I'm just going to match that, and that'll be that. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm not going to buy any extra. And the dividend yield on that is about 2.7%, roughly 3%. Solid stuff. No complaints. It's insurance. You got to pay for it, so why not be invested into it? That's the way I see it. Either way, that is pretty much it for the entire portfolio, but I do want to mention this real quick. We are running not low on time, but this video is going over 30 minutes right now. But hey, if you're stuck around, I really do appreciate it. Now, I'm going to give you guys my quick spiel on why we can make a lot of money really easy, really fast. Here we go. We'll dive right into it. This is ticker symbol UVXY. This is an option that I'm playing right now. This is a leverage option, or a leverage ETF, or a leverage stock. So that means whatever happens to the regular underlying asset, this is leverage, so it might go a little bit crazier. So in this particular instance, this is a VIX short-term futures leverage ETF. So what that means is when the stock market goes down, this goes up, but at a leverage rate. So this goes up by, I think, 1.5 times as it follows the VIX. If we scroll down, we can see just that. But I'm not going to get into all the technicals. You can do your own research to find out if that's something you want to mess with. But overall, if we go look at the 5-year chart on this, you can see, oops, what the heck? If we go look at the 5-year chart on this, you can see back up here around 2018 when we had a quick market crash. I think it was something going on with foreign entities or whatever, across the world that the U.S. had problems with. I can't really remember what happened in 2018. Something happened with foreign stuff. We had a quick market crash, a nice flash crash in 2018, and the market pretty much reacted to that flash crash by pumping this up to about $800 a share. Then, once again, back in March of 2020, we had the virus crash, pretty much pumping this up to about $1,000 a share. Now, this isn't something you hold long term. This is not a stock you just hold. This is simply an option to play if you're interested. Now, nothing has happened since then, nothing crazy like a flash crash. But if we were to get another flash crash or something like that, possibly, which it looks like we might, who knows? I could be wrong. Then this could pump back up to around, I don't know, $700 to $800 a share. And if it does do that, then making money off of a quick option is an option. So pretty much all I did was I went in and I wanted to trade an option on this, pretty much buying a call, a $55 call, and that call expires on January 19th of 2024. So that gives us a little bit of time for this option to possibly expire. But let me go ahead on into the stock, and I'm gonna show you guys the option. Oh, I was already there. Duh. Go ahead and click trade. If you want to play this, then play at your own risk, all that kind of good stuff. I'm not saying that we're going to make a lot of money from this. You could lose all your money from this. This is just like cryptocurrency, the way as fast as you can lose your money. But either way, go ahead and click trade options if you're interested. I did the one all the way over in January of 2024, so January 19th of 2024. Then we're going to scroll all the way up, and you can see right here, this is the one I have, the $55 call. Right now that's worth about $3.20 or $320. When you buy an option, you're pretty much buying the option to buy. Wow, it's funny stuff. You're pretty much buying the option to buy 100 shares of the underlying stock. So one contract, and we're going to click on this. Make sure you have your thing set to buy and call too. You see where it says call and put? Make sure it's set to buy and set the call. So when we go back up, when you buy a contract, go click on buy. When you buy a contract, you're pretty much buying the option to buy 100 shares of this particular asset. When you're buying a call, this particular asset at $55 a share. So let's say this was Apple or something like that. If this was Apple, then I'm buying the option to buy Apple at $55 a share. If Apple actually runs past and goes to $300 a share, I can still buy Apple at $55 a share because I have that option set in place and whatnot. So either way, as you can see, if this runs up to like $400 or $500 a share, $600, $700, $800 a share, then we're gonna make a lot of money really fast. I bought this for like 270 bucks. So if it doesn't work out, I lose 270 bucks. If it does work out, then I make thousands. That's simple. That's as simple as it gets. You guys can check out my beginner's options video. It'll be linked up there. And there's also tons of other YouTubers that have made options tutorial like videos. But that's pretty much the gist. That's what I'm doing. I might buy one more of these. So right now I have one. I might go in and just buy another one for about 320 bucks. Or if it dips down, then maybe a little bit lower than that. But overall, you can see here, the max loss for this is 320. The max profit is unlimited because the higher that stock price goes, the more we're going to make on this option. But options are also interesting because they deteriorate over time. So every single day you have this option up during the day, pretty much if the stock price isn't moving at all, you're still going to lose value on it. If the stock price goes up, then you'll make a lot, but only temporarily. You're going to continuously lose value on your option over time, all the way up until the expiration date. On that expiration date, if it's not at the right price, which pretty much right here is 58.20, then that's how you break even and don't make money or lose money. If it's under 58.20, then you're going to lose everything. But that's at the expiration date, which is a year from now, pretty much. So completely up to you if you want to try something like this. And that's pretty much the full portfolio. I'll have this option on here. I might buy one more. And that's pretty much it for the full portfolio. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know down in the comment section below. Didn't expect this one to be a longer one, but I did want to get everything out the way as far as everything I'm being invested into for the month of October. I got more money pumping into the market this month and next month, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to make some sales. I'm selling BGS, I'm selling Coke, I'm selling Procter & Gamble, all putting that into XLP. And I'll probably be adding some other stuff to the market as well. And we're going to make some other videos talking about other stuff as well, because I just maxed out my not 401k. I just maxed out my Roth IRA. And if you guys don't know what that is, well, we'll talk about it in a future video. But if you haven't seen it or you want to get ahead of it already, I made a video talking about Roth IRAs right there as well. So either way, this video is pushing 40 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed. I got more content coming, most likely this week. Just started a new job. Very happy with my new job. This is the first time I've really liked my job in a long time. So, well, I always like my job. This is the first time that this is like the best. It's like the best job ever. So yeah, that's all I got to say. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay positive. Stay hydrated. Go Ravens. Dollar Mike. Peace.